10 fattest people around the world. Number 1. John Bower Minogue. By the time Minogue was 12 years old, he was nearly 300 pounds, and the size grew as he got older. At the age of 36, he roughly lost 924 pounds over 16 months, but the weight returned quickly because of his disease. He died 23 months later. Number 2. Khalid bin Mohsin Shari. Shari is the heaviest man to live in recent times. He was commanded by the King Abdullah to reduce his weight. Khalid had been unable to leave his home for 2 years, but after 6 months, he had dropped over half of his entire body weight. Khalid bin Mohsin Shari is still alive today in his mid-20s, which makes him a sort of icon for the people of Saudi Arabia. Number 3. Manal Ribi. Manal Ribi is another man who was unable to leave his bed for several years. A TV series titled The World's Heaviest Man Gets Married, which followed Manal's romantic life, but his wife eventually left him because she could not handle the sedentary lifestyle and over lack of motivation. He died due to cardiac arrest and liver failure. Number 4. Carol Eger. She is the heaviest woman to live ever. Carol claimed that her weight problem was a result of sexual abuse that she suffered at an young age. But she began to lose her weight around 521 pounds when she was hospitalized for cellulitis. She was unable to stand or walk, and her frequent medical visits would cost her around $500 a tip. Eger passed away due to organic failure in 1994. Number 5. Robert Butler. Robert Butler is the most recent person to pass away on this list, after a series of operations that were essential to keep him alive. Butler lived in a care home for roughly 10 years, and the doctors simply refused to do surgeries. He needed to get back to his feet. Not only were the procedures extremely dangerous, but he had no real way for paying the procedures. Number 6. Walter Hudson. He is once a Guinness World Record holder for the largest waist, and it is 119 inches. Despite of his weight, Walter did have a fiancée named Sandy Cruz, who encouraged him to live a more healthy life. He eventually lost hundreds of pounds of weight before dying from a cardiac arrest. Number 7. Francis John Lang. Francis John Lang is a soldier in his early days in Korea. After a terrible struggle with the prescription drug use, Lang was left with an appetite that seemed to be unsustainable. He suffered a heart attack that was caused by his inflamed gallbladder, and his declining health eventually cost him his life. Number 8. Michael Hebrock. Michael was coached by Richard Simmons, where he dropped around 200 pounds from both diet and exercise. He made radio appearances with Howard Stern to help Simmons. He started undergoing emergency surgeries, which helped him to remove nearly 600 pounds, but this time his poor health eventually took his life in 2013. Number 9. Patrick Dewey. Patrick Dewey is one of the few people on this list who is still alive, which is a rather impressive feat given by that he is currently in his mid-50s. He was treated at South Dakota Hospital, where he received a gastric bypass and removal of excess skin and fat. He recently lost 570 pounds on his strict diet and is finally at a more stable and manageable weight. Number 10. Robert Earl Hughes. Hughes was the heaviest person until his death in 1958. Hughes is notable for the programs like The Ed Sullivan Show. He contracted the measles days before his TV debut, which quickly evolved into a severe case of uremia, which resulted in his death soon after. Please subscribe this channel for more entertaining and interesting videos. Don't forget, subscribe now.